is going on with Safi Sprocket's life? First she's in Norway, then she's not in Norway, then she's living out of a hotel, then she suddenly has fractured ribs, then she buys a 10-kilogram cat. What is going on? Oh, yeah, no, it's been a wild ride, guys, and we are here for a fun story time today, so let's jump straight in.
This one was completely my fault.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Safi Sprocket. Now, I have had a lot of questions from you guys, pretty much everywhere, wondering what on earth is going on with my life. It's pure mess. It's just a huge chaotic mess, as per usual. There are a lot of YouTubers out there who look totally professional on screen and are most likely very professional off screen. I am neither professional on screen and my life is a mess off screen. Welcome. I just thought it'd be easier to do a quick life update rather than like trying to explain everything. It's just easier this way. So I'm going to jump straight into all of the questions that I've been asked. Question number 1. Why aren't I in Norway? The simple answer to this is that I am not in Norway because the trip has come to an end. I don't post in real time for safety reasons. I am a solo female traveller. It would be very dumb of me to advertise where am I sleeping in a remote abandoned wood. So for that reason I don't post in real time. Now, the reason the trip came to an end, this isn't my fault. Long story short, I made it to Nordkapp. I did finish the trip. Everything went smoothly and there were no issues until I got to Nordkapp, at which point I pulled over to the side of the road to take a victory selfie so I could be like, I'm so cool, yeah, I did it, I rode to Nordkapp, I'm in the Arctic Circle, and I can laugh about this now, but long story short, a gust of wind blew me off the road and down like the grass verge, and basically I like tumbled down and landed on a rock in my right side and I fractured 3 ribs instantly. And also while I was tumbling down, the wind was so strong that it also blew my motorcycle on top of me. So I'm like tumbling down and my bike is tumbling down on top of me, and oh, I mean, the sound of my ribs cracking is like, mwah! You can be like at a barbecue restaurant. It's something else. I can laugh about it now, I wasn't laughing at the time. Very traumatic. But yeah, I broke my ribs by taking a selfie at the side of the road and getting blown off the edge. It wasn't an accident. I kind of wish it was, because this way it's like a little bit more embarrassing. I don't know many bikers who managed to have a bike accident stood next to their bike. Okay, so question number 3, which is why was I homeless and living in a hotel? Basically, long story short, for the last 7 months, I had been in the process of buying a new house. I found a lovely little semi-detached with a little garage for my bikes, and there was a bit of a chain, yay, and basically everybody agreed to complete an exchange on the same day because of the chain, and I managed to marry up the end of my lease with me moving into the new house with like a 2-week gap. So when I announced that I was going travelling and I was putting all of my stuff into storage, the reason being is because I was moving out of my old place with that I was leasing, and I put all of my stuff into storage, and I was like, this is a great time to go travelling because I can just lock up all of my stuff. I don't have to worry about rent or things like that. I've got some annual leave, so I'm not going to lose any money. I'm actually technically going to save money on rent. So it worked out really well. The problem is that when I ended up having my accident, I ended up coming back to England and I needed to stay in like a hotel for a week. And then the week after, the sellers decided to pull out of selling their house to me. Oh gosh, it was like this huge, big, dramatic mess. I'm like in this hotel room, a little bit off my face from all the painkillers, like going like, oh, I lost my bike, I had to leave my bike in a country and abandon it, and now I've got like multiple fractured ribs and now I have nowhere to live, and blah, 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 blah. Being a big crybaby. Super dramatic, as always, because it's me. And everyone was just like, everything happens for a reason, Saffron. And I was just like, no. I am categorically significantly more unlucky than most people that I know. I am so certain I have more bad luck than anyone. They're like, no, darling, it's not bad luck, it's just because you do too much. And I'm like, no, okay, I have like so much bad luck. And they're like, I just want to punch them, I'm gonna be honest. Long story short, they were totally right. Everything does happen for a reason. Because after the sellers pulled out, I started house hunting again, and it turns out in basically the year that I've been trying to buy a house, the housing market has more or less just gone, which means that I was getting a lot more house for my money suddenly. Sure, interest rates were like creeping up a little bit, but ultimately the size of the property that I could now afford, because the prices had plummeted compared to like what was available almost a year ago, was just so different. Ta-da! This is my new workshop. I'm like so excited. Sparkle scale. So this is my brand new workshop. I'm so excited. I can't believe how lucky I managed to get, because at pretty much almost no extra cost, I managed to walk into somewhere that was like 3 times the size, just because of how the economy was at the time when I started to buy somewhere and when I ended up buying somewhere. I guess everything does sometimes work out for a reason, as much as I hate that phrase because it's the worst thing ever. But it's just so good, it's so good. Now, in terms of the garage, I've been having a little bit of a think. You know me, I like to have my DIY plans. And I'm thinking for the floor, what I want to do is kind of like grind out the floor, take the top layer off, degrease it, dedust it, all that kind of jazz. Epoxy. Epoxy the lot of it, put some like little flakes down, do like a clear coat, have a little bit of anti-slip on top. Job's a good one. No extra effort, no upkeep, it's what I like to hear. Now, I really like this kind of like angle going on from this particular area of the garage. So I'm thinking for the walls, basically plasterboard it all. Now, it's not a cavity garage, so I do need to look into how I'm gonna plasterboard it without it getting damp. But I still think it's doable. So I'm thinking like plasterboard all the walls, make them like plain black, and then LED strips, like an airport. So you're like, welcome to the destination, here is the holiday. Again, because I absolutely love this like kind of like angle behind me. These are going to be like basically my main 2 like feature walls. So I'm thinking along this wall it's going to be like cabinets, black cabinets, and also black cabinets all along this wall as well. So we're going to kind of have like a, you know, like an L shape, but I also kind of want it to be curved. I don't want to have like a complete, does that make sense? And then in the middle, just here, I'll show you in a second, I really want like a island where I can kind of do like woodwork and projects without there being cabinets above my head. And also I kind of want it in the middle, but not quite, so that if I am doing projects, I do have like ear protection on, and somebody enters the workshop and I can't hear them. I don't want to be like startled if I'm like using a saw or something. So I thought if I position the tools so that the entrance to the shop is always in view, then if I can't hear them, I can see them and it'll prevent any accidents kind of thing. So I'm going to show you where I want the kind of like the island. So I kind of want it like just here. So yeah, that is going to be the plan long term for the garage. Obviously, I've just bought a house, so the amount of like building work and DIY I'm going to be doing straight off the bat isn't going to be a lot. I don't think I'm going to do anything for like the next 2 to 3 months, especially over winter, especially because I'm like super skinned. Turns out solicitors are a lot more expensive than I anticipated for buying a house, especially when you end up having to pay them twice. But overall, I think I have been so lucky. So yeah, this is the new YouTube studio. I'm so excited, so good. You might have noticed there's currently no motorbikes in here. The reason being is that everything is still in storage, with my ribs being in a bad condition, and the fact that I've only moved in a few days ago. It's just gonna take a long time to get everything out of storage and into the new house. I am kind of trying to volunteer a few friends. So give me a hand. It's slow but steady. Slow but steady, but yeah, so it's really good. It's just fantastic. Like, I'm so happy. I'm on the mend. I can drive to work again. And yes, I am 50% down in terms of how many motorcycles I own. But I'm gonna try and work out some plans to kind of recover that in May. I luckily have managed to put it into storage in the Arctic. However, one of the problems is that although I'm now okay to ride and drive again, because it's the Arctic, apparently winters are like really long there, and unless you've got a snowmobile, there's no getting it in or out of the Arctic. So there's nothing I can do until next year. In the time being, I'm basically going back down to rockets. It is what it is, so yeah. But it's still good. I'm still happy. I'm really happy. I've been here like a few days already, and like I feel like my stress levels are finally starting to like relax. It's good. So yeah. I love my new home. So yeah, in terms of content going forward, I am going to continue to edit the rest of my Norway trip. I am home safe. I've still got like 5 or 6 videos left to finish editing. However, I've only just managed to get my computer out of storage. I don't know if you guys were following me on Instagram or Facebook, but I have basically had issues accessing my my NAS drive, which is where I store all of my footage, and also like all of my networking gear. So I've not managed to like really edit that much. I also had like problems editing on a laptop. So it's been super chaotic, but I basically have like 5, 6 Norway trip videos. I've got like 3 more NEC videos. I also have an electric bike video that I need to finish editing. But again, it's been so chaotic, which is part of the reason I'm putting out a live update video, because I just want to be able to put more time into sorting out my mess of a life than editing. I hope you guys aren't too cross with the content this week. I will be back to my regular schedule last week, and I just wanted to say I really appreciate all of you standing by. I always try not to sugarcoat my life. I'm not one of these people that is professional on and off screen. I am chaotic on screen, and I am just as chaotic off screen, which means that sometimes my life goes, sometimes it's like, woo, there's not really much I can do with that. That's just part and parcel of being a person, I suppose. But I really appreciate that you guys stand by me and continue to tune in every week. Yeah, and we're gonna have a lot of fun next year. We're gonna have a lot of fun because we have a lot of space to cause even more chaos, and I'm really excited about it. Gonna buy all the power tools, probably gonna lose a finger. It's fine, it's totally cool. But yeah, no. So yeah, there we have it. That is my big life update. I abandoned my vehicle in another country. I lost a couple of ribs. I ended up homeless. I ended up having my seller like pull out the house I was meant to buy. I couldn't work for a little bit, and then miraculously, in true Sprocket fashion, somehow, somewhere, maybe up there is looking down on me, because everything miraculously just works out, and it turns out better than I could have ever imagined. I never imagined I would get this kind of space in my life. It's super cool. So yeah, there we have it. Now, I hope that you guys really enjoy the upcoming content in the next week, and until then, my name is Safi Sprocket. Ride safe, stay crazy, and I'll see you then. Bye!
This one was completely my fault.